Howdy folks, Cal Kellogg here. It has been hot here in Northern California, like it has been across most of the rest of the country. Our temperature here has been ranging from maybe 96, 97 degrees all the way up to 110 degrees. Now, I'm at a fairly low elevation lake today for you guys in Northern California. It's Collins Lake for you guys, you know, all over the country, all over the world for that matter. Just know that I am at a lake that's at about 1,200 feet in elevation, and it has been very hot. Surface temperature today, 84 degrees. We're a few days short of August. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be taking a look at how to finesse troll for finicky summer trout. And here's the problem with summer trout in reservoirs, trout that go deep to avoid the warm water. You know, they're most comfortable at 56 degrees. They're pretty comfortable up to like 66, 67 degrees. So when it starts getting hot like this, when you start getting surface temperatures in the mid 70s, you know, all the way up into the 80s, those fish are going to drop down into the water column. At this lake, they're going to drop down over the main or into the main creek channel where it's 80 to 100 feet deep. That's where the cool water's at. That's where you're going to find the trout. The problem is, in terms of, you know, getting bites all day, every day, is that there is a lot of bait that is dropped down into cool water too. So these trout have everything they want, and they've been in this pattern for quite some time. They've got cool water, they've got ample feed, and that sets the stage for them to be pretty finicky. I describe it as trying to sell hamburgers the day after Thanksgiving when everybody's full. So what am I going to pull? Let me show you. I am going to start off the day, as always, with an A, B, and C plan. This is my A plan. One of my Kellogg downrigger rods. I have it armed with a bubblegum pink Trout Trix worm. I have that hook planted way back in the tail of the worm. I'm going to troll this anywhere from 1.5 to 1.8 miles an hour off the downrigger, probably 40 to 50 feet deep. That's what I'm thinking, but I'll finalize that plan once I see the marks. I also have a rod rigged up with a dipsy diver and a small spoon. Small spoons, that's my B plan. And I could see myself putting on a metalhead trolling fly or a woolly booger trolling fly. That's my C plan. And you know, the B plan and C plan are very similar. Small spoon, smallish, compact fly. What you're looking for in these conditions is a lot of movement at low speed. A lot of movement, a lot of erratic movement, a lot of vibration that stays in the strike zone for an extended period of time and really tempts these fish into biting. So let's get this Trout Trix worm on the downrigger. Let's get it down to depth and see if we can get a fish on the end of our line. Fish on. That was 35 feet deep, guys. Trout Trix worm. Come on, be a trout. We're looking for a rainbow. Fighting like a trout. Question is it a trout? I don't know. I didn't take long. I've been trolling for about 15 minutes or so. Get close. Oh, nice rainbow. Right there. Awesomeness. Finesse tactics, guys. Summer trout. It's the dog days. You can come out and you can absolutely catch fish. Look at that dandy rainbow. Nice fish. That is just awesome. We're going to revive that fish, get it back in the water, and hopefully he's going to make it. When you're trying to revive him, it's best not to bounce him off the floor like that, but I think he'll be fine. Just give them all the time they need in the net. Just revive them, surge them through the water. And they'll let you know when they're ready. He'll turn over, he'll get feisty. There he goes. Now he's getting feisty. Go down. There he goes. Awesome. There's that Trout Trix worm, guys. Trolling it naked. No dodgers, no flashers, none of that. I've got that action disc positioned probably half an inch in front of the bait, trolling it anywhere from 1.5 to 1.8. It's a great finesse presentation, not just because I make these baits, because I invented these baits. They are one of the most devastating trout baits you can pull. The Trout Trix worm and the Trout Trix minnow. If you want to imitate minnows, best minnow imitation out there is the Trout Trix minnow. It swims like a minnow, it acts like a minnow, it feels like a minnow when they grab it. But the Trout Trix worm here, it is just maximum erratic, unpredictable action. It flat out works. Get some, you're gonna be yelling fish on tomorrow. Take my word for it. You've seen it here on the channel if you're a regular viewer. I'm gonna get this back down to 35, 40 feet deep and see if we can get another trout on. There are some very large trout in this lake. It was planted heavily all winter. The fish that are left have dropped down in the water column. My personal best trout at this lake, 13 pounds. So fingers crossed, we're looking to go big. Let's get that worm back down there and get it working. Now I've dropped that back down to about the same depth. I was at 35, 36 feet. I'm at 37, 38 feet now. I think for the surface temperature, that is a little bit shallow, but first thing in the morning, again, you want to be on top of the biomass of the fish. Those fish will move up in the morning, just like bass will move up in the morning when the water's warm. They'll move up to feed, and I think that way, oh, got another fish. Got another fish. There we go, another fish on. And I think that's the situation there. I think these fish are moving up to feed. I think they're really holding 50, 60 feet deep based on the surface temperature, but clearly they are willing to come up and feed. That's 2 hookups in about less than 5 minutes. So let's get the net ready. Oh, that fish is fighting. Nice and easy to bring him up. It doesn't feel like a 10-pounder, but it does feel pretty substantial. And sometimes it's hard to tell, especially in the summertime. You know, they can play possum real well. They'll come right up and then go just absolutely crazy. We shall see. And you know, it could be a bass, could be a catfish at this time of year. Shaking its head like a trout. Some wicked head shaking going on down there. You just notice I'm not pumping the rod. I'm not doing any heroics like that. I'm just working the reel. When he starts surging like that, I back off. I'm watching the rod tip. As long as that rod tip is tight against the fish, you're doing all you can do to land that fish. It's 46 feet away. He gets about 6 feet away. I'll grab that net. The boat as straight as possible. There we go. Now he's coming. Swimming at the boat now. For the moment. There's some boat traffic up in front of me. So 12 feet away, 10 feet away. Oh yeah. Another awesome thing. There we go. We got him. We roped him. El Ropo. Oh yeah. That guy's an exact duplicate of the last fish. Oops, he spit the hook. Well, he gave himself a piercing. And the hook got out. There we go. Same exact spot, right through the lower jaw. There we go. He wasn't getting away. There he is, handsome rainbow. We'll get him back in the net, get him revived, and get him back down to depth. There we go. He's a feisty guy. So folks, I spend a lot of time out on the water with clients, and the whole time we're fishing, because they are instructional trips, we're talking fishing. I'm asking them questions, they're asking me questions. And all too often, the first instinct of anglers is to make big, abrupt changes. Big changes in depth, big changes in speed, big changes in lures. Now, I was trolling along here, I kind of turned back in, there's kind of a big cove bay here. I marked, my line was at 37, 38 feet. I marked 3 fish in a row right at 30. So I made an adjustment. I raised my downrigger maybe 3 or 4 feet. I can see the downrigger as well as the clip on the downrigger. So I raised my bait up to be right in line with those fish. Very subtle change. Sometimes a very subtle change will make a big difference in terms of the number of fish you're catching, the number of bites you're getting. I'm on the fish. I've already caught 2 fish here in the first half an hour, but small changes will often lead to big results. So just, when you want to change something up, maybe change a shade of color, maybe change depth by 2 or 3 feet, maybe speed up or slow down by 2 or 3 tenths of a mile an hour, and see what that does. Be methodical, make small changes, and stay on top of what is happening. What have the results been? Did I speed up 3 tenths of a mile an hour and got a bite right away? That tells you something. Did I change depths and catch 2 fish right away at that new depth? That tells you something. And I've seen times when a 3-foot change in depth can make all the difference in the world. So just something to keep in mind next time you're out on the water. Good one here. Still about 90 feet away. Rod is just buried. Who knows? He didn't hit that hard, but he popped it off the clip, no problem. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Shakes his head like a big dog. 80 feet away. That is a hefty fish, I think. Sometimes they fool me. Working over the outer edges of these coves here on the east side of the lake. It's working into about 70 feet of water. I've been seeing marks back here, and got one. So far so good. It's a stalemate at the moment. Here we go. He's just kind of gently bringing him my way. Gently bringing him my way. No big hurry. He's 36 feet away. I pulled off right there. That was a nice fish. Dang it! Woo, got a fish on right there. Fortunately, it doesn't feel as big as the one we just lost, but we will take it. Oh, nice trout. Having a hard time keeping the boat straight. right there. Yes. There he is, guys. Pink trout Trix. She's working good. Well, folks, it is 9 o'clock exactly, and I am starting to see water skiers and tubers and stuff like that, and it's starting to get warm. Luckily, this breeze is really saving us, but I'm gonna fish for another half an hour. Still got my fingers crossed, hoping for that really big trout. If I don't get them next time. Now, for all you guys out there in YouTube land that been sitting it out, haven't been going fishing because it's too hot or the fish are too deep or there's too many water skiers, that's not an excuse. Late summer fishing can be really good. You need to adapt your tactics to the temperament of the fish. That often means using a downrigger to get down. You've got to use those finesse tactics, but you can get out on the water, you know, at dawn or a little bit after, get your fish on, and then get back on the trailer before it gets really hot, before a bunch of water skiers and stuff get on the water. They tend to arrive fairly late. They're not fishermen. So don't use the warm season, the hot weather, as an excuse not to get out and get after those trout. Trout fishing's good. Get out there, enjoy it, get after them. And remember, right behind the doldrums of summer is the exciting days of fall. That's right around the corner. The fish will feed with urgency. They'll be a lot more aggressive. When the surface temperature starts to drop, the bait breaks up, the trout scatter, and like I say, they feed with a high level of urgency. Thanks for joining me here on YouTube. I'll catch you next time. If you're looking for gear, if you're looking for trout, tricks, worms, trigger spoons, rods, reels, and more, you know where to go. FHSfishing.com. We'll hook you up with what you need, get it shipped out real quick, and you'll be out on the water yelling fish on before you know it. Hoping to get one more fish before I go in, guys. I'm Kel Kellogg.